Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Dottie San Martin with Cubica AMF, and welcome to Beyond the Frame Live. Beyond the Frame is a community that we brought together back at the beginning of the COVID experience to go through this journey together and to share challenges and best practices, tips, ideas. And it's been exciting that the last couple of weeks we get to share with proprietors the experience of reopening their center. There's a lot of really challenging things that we're faced with. The customers' expectations have changed. The staff is maybe needs retraining, or maybe you're having trouble getting your staff to come back. But this is a community where we can all get together and we can experience that reopening journey and learn from one another. So today we have on our show, we have Mr. Mike Logan. Mike is the owner of Grand Station in the heart of Aggie Land in College Station, Texas. And he's a third generation proprietor. In 1996, he took over his first bowling center. And in 2007, he built his first family entertainment center, Grand Station Entertainment in College Station, Texas. And Mike has been an integral part of the bowling community for 42 years and has had several positions where he served the Texas Bowling Center Association as the president. He's currently a BPAA board of directors. And in 2019, Mike was named the BPAA Proprietor of the Year. Mike, welcome. Howdy.
Hey, howdy, Dottie. How are you today?
I am really good. Well, Mike, 2020 has just been a blur. And for a lot of people, it's already halfway over, but we wish that we could just put it all behind us. But we're at least getting to that part where centers are starting to reopen. And, it's nice to see that we're sort of getting back to the norm. So let's just kind of pick it up there. You have experienced reopening at Grand Station. So share with me a little bit about that. When did you guys reopen?
We opened up May 22nd. I'm sure, like everybody else, through January and February was just a great year for us, like so many people were. And then March hit, and we had to close down our businesses. We thought for 2 weeks, but it ended up being about 2 months. That's just for some of us. And unfortunately, there's some people right now in this country right now that they don't even open up yet. My heart's out for them. I feel bad. A lot of friends that I know have worked real hard and their government's just not letting them open. But we opened up on May 22nd. Didn't really quite know what to expect. I think there was a few centers that opened up, and and we heard the numbers, and I'm going, oh, we're gonna do better than that. Well, let me tell you, we were slapped pretty hard when we first opened up. So it was nowhere near the excitement that we thought we were gonna have. We staffed up for it, and it's like, uh-oh. So we've had to rethink a lot of things since then.
Okay, and right now, what are the restrictions? Are you at 50% right now?
As far as occupancy?
Occupancy.
Yes, we're at 50%. But a lot of us have such large centers that really is not even a factor. I mean, sure. Even at 25%, if we had 25%, I would turn cartwheels in the concourse area. But even at 50%, that would still be a good Friday, Saturday night for us. So those aren't even the issues. I think one of our biggest obstacles or challenges is our self-imposed social distancing that we've put in with the every other lane.
Okay.
A lot of people are challenged with that. Same with our game room, trying to justify and because of the protocols that we've done with, I'm sure every state's different, but we were set up that these were the protocols that we were going to live by, and the social distancing in every other lane. So we've adhered to that since May 22nd.
Okay. Well, and what's been the reaction from the customer?
Oh, they're so glad we're open. They're so glad we're open. It's been very joyful. We opened, like I said, May 22nd, and we couldn't open the game room for 2 weeks. because there was something that the governor didn't want that to happen. So we adhered to that, and that was a big part of our business, the game room. So we basically didn't have that for a while. So we opened up with some really, really low numbers. And I can get into some of the exact numbers here in a minute for you, let you know exactly what it was and where we transpired to. So
sure.
So the first week we opened up, we started a week on Friday the 22nd. We were 18% for the first week. The second week got a little bit better, up to 25%. This is versus last year.
Going in the right direction. Sure.
Right. The third week we were able to open up our game room, and we saw an increase to 34%. And then this last week, starting on last
There you are.
There?
Lost you for just a second, Mike.
I'm sorry about my wife.
That's
called
okay.
me when I'm on, so but anyway, we saw it go to 44%, and so it was very encouraging. So yeah, we know we're moving in the right direction. It's just slower process than we had expected.
So let me ask you this: who is the customer that you're seeing right now? I mean, is it open play customers? Is it your league bowlers? What have you seen coming in?
It's mainly open play and families, especially since the game room opened up. We run a lot of specials that include all-inclusive passes. So we're starting going back to that. Like I said, we had a plan about a week before we opened. This is what we were going to do. Well, let me tell you, after about the first 3 or 4 days, we went back to the table and said, this ain't working, guys. So we have slowly implemented some other programs that we weren't going to do because we felt there was a need to. And one of those was getting the leagues back. So we got 3 leagues started now. They're back and running.
Okay.
18-team league, a 10-team league, and a 2 10-team leagues. So we're doing that. We got the Kids Bowl free back going again. That fills up our Mondays through. We've kind of extended our hours to encroach into times where normally we wouldn't have needed it during the summertime because of things like that. So we've been able to expand out with those things. Birthday parties. We're starting to do some more birthday parties now. And let me tell you, the people are hungry for those types of things too. So we are getting the people out. And for some of you guys that haven't opened yet, please consider some of those things that I just discussed. Like I said, I was totally dismissive because I thought, you know what, we're not going to be able to do leagues based on the protocols that they wanted to do. But I've talked to a lot of other people in our industry, some people that have done really well with them. They explained what they did, and it's like, oh, okay, that's good. So.
Well, and you know, we have heard that from other proprietors as well, is the competitive bowlers are ready. They want to come back. They just want to bowl. And they're loyal customers for you anyway. And they know, your reputation. They know that you're going to adhere to the restrictions that have been placed on you, and it's going to be a safe place for them to come. So I think that that's a really good sign. So, and it's kind of nice, it sounds like you had a plan in place, and then once you opened, you realized, hey, I have to be able to change some of these things because it wasn't quite like we expected. What would you say is the biggest challenge that you faced reopening?
Probably trying to get the employees, trying to get that thing set up. The social distancing, trying to monitor that, the constant sanitizing. Those are things right now that we're trying to do. The employees having to wear masks all the time. I know it's very, very uncomfortable for them. But they wear their mask, and we're doing our part, to practice, safe hygiene while the people are in our side.
Sure.
Even though probably, and I'm 95% of the people that come into our centers are not wearing masks.
And very interesting.
And everybody I've talked to is somewhere around that number too. The people that we're getting into our centers right now are not necessarily the ones that are scared. I don't think a mask would make it or break it one way or the other. And we're not going to tell the people they can't wear masks. So, but that's one thing that I found. We found that out right away, that people just aren't wearing masks anymore. And so they're.
And what is the reaction from your employees? Do
They,
they kind of resist that mask, or are they pretty good about it?
they're pretty good about it. They understand. We explain to them, look, this is not just for your safety; it's for the safety of the guest.
Right.
And I know they probably go out to restaurants. When they're not working, they probably don't wear a mask. But while they're working, we need to adhere to that policy, and everybody's okay with that. Everybody's okay with that.
Mike, before we started streaming live, you and I had a conversation, and you shared with me that one of the challenges was staffing. Can you kind of share a little bit about that with the
Yeah.
viewers?
Yeah, one of the things that we found out, the PPP, which I'm sure everybody out there has got that. We were able to receive that money. We kept all of our salaried employees on staff and a few hourly people during the 2 months during the close down. We tried to get people back again, and obviously all these kids that applied for unemployment were getting $600 a week plus their unemployment benefits. So it was very challenging to get those people to come back because there's no way they're going to make that much money working part-time.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the things that we found out is that through the unemployment benefits, if they can work up to 25% of their unemployment benefits, they still get 100% of their benefits. So they can actually earn up to 125%. So that's one of the strategies and challenges we're having to do, is to make sure that they don't work more than 25%. So, but they have to report these things. But I don't want them to think that what I said is in stone and gospel. So when Scott and Stephanie and everybody talks to their employees, we tell them, look it up for yourself, but we're pretty certain this is what it is. And if you can agree to that, we'll come in and work these people, maybe a shift or two a week. Like I said, when this thing, we had 100 employees at Grant Station when this thing hit. Mm-hmm. We went down to like 16 during the close down, and we have slowly built up. We're right at close to 40 right now. So we're able to get some of these people back. Some of these kids have gone. A lot of them were college students, which that's a whole other issue right now.
Oh, yes, indeed.
You just don't realize how big an impact that the university has, in a small town. So mm-hmm. it's a killer for us. So, but anyway, that's one of the things that I shared with you as far as, make sure, if you're in a state, I don't know if it's a state by state issue as far as the unemployment benefits go, but it's something to look into for themselves. And then there again, put it on the employees to do their own work. Because I think 2 or 3 employees knew this going in. They're pretty sharp. They knew exactly how many hours they could work and not affect their unemployment. And I don't blame them. I mean, they're making $600 plus. So
you're right. And Mike, you made a statement when we were chatting before we went live that you really have to polish your managerial skills right now. Your scheduling becomes, it's very important for you to look at that scheduling and be efficient with how you're scheduling people and efficient with your lane usage. And everything is under the microscope right now. And as we were saying on our chat before, it's something that I think that we can take away as a positive from this and learn from this, that it is always a good idea to look at those things. But when you're rocking and rolling and your business is booming, it's so hard to step back and really analyze the big picture. And now I think we've started doing that, and we're taking a good look at it from the outside in. And I think that if we can continue that going forward as we come out of this pandemic, that it will really make us a more successful center in the long run.
Well, I agree. And I got to give a shout out, because there's 2 people that are in this business right now that's been rock solid. And one is my wife, Deanna. She's taking care of so many things in the background that people have no idea. She goes in there and works every day. Because let me tell you, I've been out for a month with my knee surgery.
Yes.
So my wife is taking care of things, and my son Scott. And I'm just proud. They have really made this thing work. They're in the trenches working every day. So I can't sit there and take the credit for this thing. Let me tell you, They have worked real hard, and that has helped make us survive. And that's what's going to make us get back to where we were before, without a doubt. We'll get there.
Absolutely. I agree wholeheartedly with you on that. So, we've got centers opening up a little bit more rapidly than we have been. What message do you have, or what words of encouragement, or what advice do you have for those centers that are just getting ready to open the door for the first time?
Well, I think I mentioned earlier, and I've to lower your expectations. You could be disappointed if you got high expectations. We were. So keep your expectations in check. And then also, don't be afraid to make changes, because one of the things about being an independent center is that you have the flexibility, much more so than a national company or a regional company that's got 4 or 5 centers. You can react so much quicker, and don't be afraid to change course, because I think that's the big thing. And I think that's what's helped us to this point. Now we're nowhere near. I mean, there's
Okay, there we are. Are you back, Mike?
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Keeping me on my toes.
So anyway, I'm sorry. But anyway, I would just don't be afraid to make mistakes, and don't be afraid to change course.
Very nice. Very nice. I lost you again.
I'm sorry.
There you are.
There we go.
There you are.
My phone keeps ringing. So, but anyway, those would be the two things that I would definitely safeguard against, and yeah.
Be flexible. Be willing to change. And that's scary. It's scary to make changes on the fly like that. But it's nice to see that in your case, most specifically, that it was definitely to your advantage to see right out of the gate that you needed to make changes to your original plan and then go forth from there. So, and we always like to ask our guests, what is your message of hope to our viewers?
Oh, hang in there. Hang in there. It's, it's a great business. It's been we've been blessed by having this type of business for so many years. We're just going through a change right now. It's tough, but I see the light at the end of the tunnel. We will get back. I have no doubt that we will get back. It may be a little bit longer than we had anticipated, but we will get back. You know what? And it's really sad, because I was talking with somebody the other day. I heard there's like 50 centers right now that will not reopen again. And just like a lot of businesses all over the country are not going to reopen. They just don't have the energy or the desire. We're still energetic. We still want to get up there. We will get back. There's lots of entertainments in our city of Bryan College Station that probably won't open back up, which is going to, it's like I hate to say, a survival of the fittest. We just have to stay strong. Call people. I call people all the time, almost to a fault. I want to call people. I'll call my buddy Mark up there in Kalamazoo, Michigan. I call him. I'll call Craig Buster. I call people all over the country just to call. Mike Kennington. I call Mike, talk to him, just to see how things are going there. Because they're a little bit ahead of us, and we're ahead of a few other people. So, but it's so comforting to know that we're in this fight together. So.
You are so right, Mike. And as I said at the beginning, our reason for forming this Beyond the Frame was for that very reason, because you do learn from your peers. You can learn from, other people that have been down that road, and you can learn from their mistakes. And it's nice to also hear the success stories. It gives you hope in today's world, with all of the turmoil going on, with society and everything that's going on there, as well as this COVID pandemic. It's really easy to get down in the dumps and wonder what the future really is. But we have as we start to wrap up, I want to remind our viewers that Cubica AMF has a huge resource center that we've put together. This Beyond the Frame platform is just one piece of what we have put together for our customers, not just our customers, just people in this industry as a whole, because we are all in this together. So, if you haven't already checked that out, just simply go to the Cubica AMF website and click on the Consumer Resource Center. And in there, you'll find live interviews like the one we're having today, the recordings of those with different proprietors. You'll find the webinars. You'll find the link to reach out to tech support and schedule your reopening tech support call. You'll find a link to register for the virtual class of reopening your business, as well as many other resources for you. Next week, we'll also have another proprietor that has recently opened up. We'll have Steve Barinki, who has a couple of military centers that have recently opened up, and he will be sharing his experience with that. And then also stay tuned. We've got a webinar. We're actually going to take an approach of what we're going to do to get our business back. And how we need to make changes and what changes might be necessary from this point forward. So we're going to have a webinar refocusing on your business and taking a look at what we can do from this point forward to really set you up for success, not just for now, but for the long term as well. So Mike, before we wrap for today, is there anything else that you'd like to go over?
No, but I would like to thank you and thank Cubica and Beyond the Frame. I think it's a great tool. If you guys aren't taking advantage of it, there is a lot of information on there, a lot of stories to be told. And the BPA guidelines has been very beneficial. So there's a lot of tools out there at your disposal. Pick them up and use them.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And those can also be accessed from the consumer resource page on our website. It really is a one-stop shop. You can access, a lot of different tools there as well. So, well, Mike, thank you so much. I hope that your trend continues. Those baby steps eventually turn into giant leaps. So we're really looking forward to hearing in the very near future that things are just continuing to go in a positive direction. And we really appreciate you being our guest today. And we appreciate our viewers. If you are viewing today live, do us a favor and leave in the comments where you're viewing from. It's very interesting for us to see we have viewers from all over the world. So again, thank you very much, Mike. It's been a pleasure, and I wish you continued success.
All right, Dottie. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Stay safe.